What's up, guys? So we're out here today. We're messing with the smart car. This is my daily driver and I use it at the racetrack all the time. And recently, for about the last 2 weeks, occasionally the battery light has been flashing on the dash. It would come on and then it would go off, and it would come on and go off, and it was kind of random. And so I was like, okay, we're probably having a battery or alternator issue. And I thought it was the alternator issue just because of the way it was behaving. It would work sometimes and then sometimes it wouldn't. And so I brought it over to the shop over here at Mike's, and he's got an alternator tester. And sure enough, the battery voltage was low. It was only showing about 12.4 volts with the car running. I started noticing if the headlights were on and the air conditioner was on, the fan was running, it would come on more frequently. Versus if it was in the daytime and just the air conditioner was on, or vice versa. If I had just the air conditioner off and it was just the headlights on at nighttime. So when they were both on is when it gave me the most codes, I guess you would say. So let me show you how to change it. We've already done it, but I'm gonna show you the basics. Looking at the repair manual, it said it was like a half-hour job. It was like 30 minutes. It took us a little longer than that. It probably took about 2 hours total. Our first time ever doing it. I'm gonna show you what we did. All right, guys, well, this is a little smart car, 2009. It's the Pure, so it's the very basic version. I assume they're all gonna be the same. I've already got the engine tray cover off, and then of course you have to pull this back to get access. And now you can see the alternator is way down in there. It's kind of tucked down in there pretty far. It was kind of difficult to get to. The first thing you notice, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of things in the way. So you've got the motor mount there. You got these 3 bolts. Those are E8s, I think it was. You got those 3 bolts you take loose, and you take loose the 15 millimeter bolts. There's one on each side. Before you take those off, you need to put a jack under the oil pan just so the motor doesn't fall. Once you get the motor mount out of the way, it's a lot easier to access. But deep down in there, there's a tensioner. So of course you'll need to loosen the tensioner. Pry it off, got the tension loose. Once you get the motor mount bolts off, this one bolt here pops off. And then, if you want to take this wheel off, it makes it a little easier access, but you don't have to, because up in there, you can see the alternator and the other bolt. It is right there. And so those 2 bolts is all that's holding it on. And once you get those off, of course, you can drop the motor down a little bit further, and the alternator will actually come out this hole. It's got one plug back at the back, and then the one main wire off the back of the alternator. And then of course, reassembly, not too bad, but it's stuck up under there, so you can do it, but it does take a little bit of time. Just be prepared to take the motor mount off. We tried to do it without taking the motor mount off. All the instructions that we could find, nobody said take the motor mount off, but that made it a lot easier to access and get to, and it's only 5 bolts. All right, guys, there you go.